We're going to go ahead and do things a little differently, Andrea and I. We're going to go ahead and start with the culminating activity. So if you all would take out a piece of paper, it could be that blank sheet, flip it over that you got earlier. We would like you to go ahead. We're going to give you a minute and a half to quickly write where you see yourself in the next 4 years from now.
And not just job, if you could include things like family life or where you might be living, location-wise, just anything that comes to mind, but not just only specifically job.
Okay, you can go ahead and wrap up that last sentence. Okay, we can put those aside and we'll use that at the end of our little lesson here. We are doing middle school students planning for the future as well. We did take a different role than the previous group. We decided to do actually what different things that they plan for, whether it be marriage, kids, job, college, everything. We kind of decided we'd take your life in 4 years. Every 4 years we counted it as a benchmark, and we figured something big would happen.
We started at the age of about 13.
Yeah, something big would happen, and that's where we went from. And what we decided, why we want to do it, is actually my best friend's mom teaches. And she teaches 5th grade. And she had told me that it's really quite strange how young children act today about, their lives. They don't understand that you're probably supposed to get married before you have children. They think, I'm gonna have my kids first, and then I'm gonna get my job, and then maybe I'll get my house, and then maybe I'll get married, and then that's only maybe. And then another little girl said, I want to name my daughter Kayla, but I haven't thought about what her last name's gonna be yet. So, and it's kind of funny how these kids are, it's kind of funny how they're not planners. And we thought, what better way to incorporate this into a lesson for them so that they could really see how, map things out, figure out how they're supposed to go, and figure out how they're supposed to go for them to make them happy. We're going to start really quick with a nice little course by YouTube.
This is from a 7th. What? It really is. This is from a 7th or 8th grade class, I believe. Right?
Doing the right thing.
Okay, well apparently we don't have it. But anyway, it was a 7th or an 8th grade class, and what they did was their teacher had them kind of put on a play, and it was really cute because I love middle schoolers and they're so cute. But and what it was this guy had this, plan to go into football, and he was all ready, and that was his only goal, and he had the support of his family and his coach and friends and everything behind him. And one day he goes, they had kindergartners do this activity with them too. One day he goes to sign autographs, and all these kindergartners jump on him and tackle him to the ground. And he supposedly hurts his leg, or anyway, he can't play football anymore, so he gets stuck working at McDonald's for the next 5 years.
And it wouldn't play.
No, well,
Can we try it again?
You can try searching for it.
Football player working McDonald's.
yeah.
Or
Maybe advisory plans for the future.
play or anything. Click on that.
And you
Come
just
up
put
at
it
all.
once.
Just do planning for future, see if that'll come.
Yeah.
Middle school.
Yeah.
We got it a long time ago, I'm sure, the only problem about YouTube is that they change.
Yeah.
Where did you say?
That might actually be why it won't pop up. You might have your the right link, but because they took it off.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a month ago, so.
Anyway,
Okay, but anyway, yeah. Sorry. It's a good idea. Okay, lesson one, where we're going to talk about where are you going. The first thing that we want to do with our students is to get them thinking about all these different things. Like we said earlier, kids know that they have all these things coming up and they just don't know what order. So what we'd immediately start doing is just brainstorming on the board. I ask a bunch of different questions, like where do you see yourself in 4 years? Where do you see yourself in 5? What are different important things that you want to happen in your life? And then we'd go ahead and put this into some sort of timeline. And I would let my students, or our students, go ahead and do that any way they wanted. They'd be as creative as they wanted. We were going to go ahead and let them do it on the computer, use journal, magazines, pictures, graphics, things like that. Just go ahead and be real creative and make it look really nice. And then the next part, the next lesson that we would have, that was just the opening. The next lesson we'd start right away was with planning for college. We want to make sure that we tell our students that, yes, you're all capable of going, you can all do it. And if you start as young as middle school, maybe even younger, it'll almost set like it's the norm. It's the norm. You're going to go to college, you're going to get a higher level education. So that was kind of our goal. And for this lesson, what we had designed was that we give out a different worksheet, and students would be able to go on internet research and find, what do I want to do for a career and what kind of classes would I have to take for that. So modeling for that, since we both went to Eastern, we'd go ahead and model it for them. We'd go on to Eastern's website, show them all the different links, show them what we thought was great about Eastern, show them all the different things besides education that they offered us here, like leadership positions and sports and things like that. And then their homework for that night, they would have to go home and pick their top 3, what they think would really fit them right now as where they would want to go in 4 years after college. Next, we thought that would be really cool is planning a day in the real world. Talking about balancing your checkbook, realizing how much things really do cost, whether it's dining out, grocery shopping, clothes shopping. Also talking about what's important, needs versus wants. And so we thought what we'd do is give them mock checkbooks, set up different round tables around the room, and they have to go around and actually pay their rent, spend money on fun things, because they're going to want to spend money on fun things, have clothes in their bag, go ahead and go and get food for the week, and then who else, if they have family, one-day car insurance, things like that. So it would really get their minds focusing on how am I going to budget this.
We actually based this idea off an activity I did my freshman year in high school. It was called Reality Day or something like that. And you can go more in depth with this as well. Like they made me choose from like a hat if I would have a husband or not, what his job would be. I had a zookeeper for a husband. He made like $2,000 a year. It was ridiculous.
Really nice.
And we had 2 children. I went bankrupt. Anyway, but it gives the students an idea of what life will be like when they get out in the real world and all the things they're going to have to do.
And hopefully, again, just kind of, I know college really isn't going to have to be for everybody, but it just kind of really pushes it and says that yes, you can do it, and these are all the benefits of having an education. And then the third lesson that we would have is planning for a career. So we already had a chance to go ahead and look at see what classes we want to take and what would interest us, and we want to form that into planning for a career. I think this would help students in the long run, just because I know up until I was a sophomore in college, I had no idea what I wanted because no one really asked me. They're like, oh, so you're going to go to college, great. But then after that it was like, well, you made it there, what are you going to do with it? So I think that'll help them there. And then the last step would be planning for family. And like we said earlier, trying to put that in order from them. Trying to let them know that there's an easy way to do things and a harder way to do things. And just try and keep, I guess we talked about insurance, homeowners insurance, home expenses.
Property taxes.
Property taxes, yeah, we included all that in there. So they see that. They see what mom, dad, or guardian, or whoever that's taking care of them, how much they're really putting in to their little family unit.
That's good.
Okay, the next lesson we did was more specifically based on children in general. We thought that this was very important because doing something like this at this young of an age might actually make them think twice about other, irrational decisions they might make. So for this, we decided to do the AID project. I don't know if any of you have heard that. Nathan?
No.
Never mind.
I was looking at the empathy value.
Oh yeah.
I've worn that
Mhm.
for like a day.
Yeah. They make males wear it too, just so that they know. We decided to do the egg project, which is where we'll give partners one egg, and then they have to take care of it for 1 week. But by making sure that they don't just stick it in their locker and keep it in there, we are also going to make them go out with it, take pictures with it to like show that they've actually like taken it outside and been with it and are able to take care of it. So and then they would also have to write a paper reflection on that.
Oh, that's
so.
good.
And then the next is planning for vacation time. Everyone knows that once you get into a routine, a job, have family and stuff like that, vacations, you can't just go on them like we probably can now. You need to plan, set aside time for time off work, money, you need to plan activities you need to do, you need to know what you're going to do with your kids if you have kids. So what we're going to do for this one is they would research their ideal vacation spot, and then they're going to create a brochure. And then they get to present their brochure to the class and include things such like how much airfare might be, or what kind of hotels you want to stay at, or these are things you can do every day while you're there. Because if you go there and you don't have any plans, you're just going to sit in a hotel basically.
Yeah.
So. And then our next one was planning for retirement. We were both a little nervous about this because we're like 13-year-olds planning for retirement, honestly. But I do think it is important just because there are so many different type of retirement plans. I don't know if you guys know that. There are so many different ones, and also all the ordeals with the Social Security Act, how that might not even be there for us by the time we get up there. So we just felt it was important for kids to kind of see their options, kind of see like what's out there now and how it's changing. So just kind of give them an idea of what's out there. So we would have them research different plans. I think we came up with 5, and then they would present them to the class and write a reflection.
And I found a really cool statistic, and it was just like, I think if you started saving $10 a week from the time you were 18 on, you'd end up being a millionaire by the time you're graduating. So, I mean, things like that kids can research, look up, and get really excited about. Who knows, maybe we could help somebody out when they're 65. So, that's the way we looked at it. So,
and then our next one was creating the ideal job. So students kind of get to research what sort of field they would like to go in. And then we're also going to make them learn a little bit about etiquette, which will come in the next part, which it's supposed to be a secret, they're not supposed to know about it. And then they're also, after they find their ideal job, they get to make little business cards. We'll give them elements of what should go on a business card. And they also get to learn conversation strategies, interview techniques, things like that. And then for our culminating activity, we're going to have them go on a business luncheon.
Oh, nice.
This is actually something I did in my junior high too. What you would do is would send out letters to the parents, and it kind of like a career sort of type day. Ask them, what's their job, would they be interested in going to a luncheon, so basically we would get as many parents as we could, and maybe even if their companies would sponsor the luncheon too, that'd be nice for a thought. And we would take the kids, see where their job field is, and try and sit them with a person who is at least related to their job. And they would get to sit there and talk about their job and what they would like to do and the benefits and things like that. So, and we would have them write a short reflection on that as well. Any questions this far? Oh, can we actually hear some of before the questions, can we actually hear some of your plans for the next 4 years? And after seeing this presentation, is there anything else you would like to add to it?
I'd like to be a consultant with my sorority for a year, and then teach probably somewhere up north, and then get married, have no children, and have a schnoodle named Felicity.
Very good. Is there anything you'd like to add to that after seeing the PowerPoint? Any other thing, even not just specifically doing planning for?
But probably planning on retirement.
Yeah.
Are you not ever having children?
No, just in the next 5 years, I don't plan on children.
What's a snoodle?
A schnoodle is a mix
Schnauzer.
between a schnauzer and a poodle, and I
Yes,
have a schnauzer
they're
right now.
really pretty dogs.
Are those the ones that have the eyes that are they bigger dogs?
They're little, like,
They're little.
usually about
What's the poodle mix that's taller? And they look like their eyes are actually like human eyes. I think what they're called.
Not doodles?
Scott, did you have one you wanted to check?
Oh yeah, I was just planning on teaching around here somewhere, maybe being married with a kid or 2 on the way, and a dog and a cat, and chickens and ducks, and I wanted to add a turkey to that.
Good.
And then when it comes to Thanksgiving, we could have a turducken.
Very good.
And you can get them.
Yeah, you get a new turkey for the next year.
Okay, you have a question?
Yeah, any questions?
I really enjoyed the lesson about retirement because I mean the people have the mistaken thought nowadays that Social Security will cover everything and you can't. I mean and I've been told that it is never too young you can never be too young to start saving.
Right.
That's
And,
$4,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anybody else have retirement already? Like,
Yeah,
I have
I
like,
have a Roth IRA.
yeah, so do
I
I.
have mutual funds and.
And yeah, I have mutual funds and everything else. Like,
And like Ari literally,
Money for my future before my retirement.
literally,
Yeah.
there's like